I was going to bed. And I opened my eyes, and Jesus is standing at the foot of my bed. And it was so real and so different this time, because now he's not New Age Jesus. He's not Archangel Jesus. He's like the man I've been reading about. He's the man that I'm in love with. He's the man that they've been preaching about. He's real. He's like a real person. And now he's in my room. And he came with the thorns, and he came with the blood, and he came with the ripped robes. And I'm so in love with this man. I'm seeing, he doesn't look like he's in pain, but I'm looking at him and I'm like, how could they do that to you? That was painful to like sit with that. Like, how could someone do that? I don't understand that. So he's standing there and he just says to me, I'm going to wash your feet. And I was like, please don't. I was like, no, you can't. You cannot wash my feet. I wanted to wash his feet. I was like, please don't. And he just walks up to my bed and he sort of crouches down a bit and he places his hands on my feet and stays there for a moment. And then he stands up and he walks to the left side of my bed. I'm laying on the left, and he just goes like this. And he just reaches over and he places his left hand on my right and his right hand on my left. And I'm like this, and I just see the blood go through onto my hands. I'm like, he's putting blood on my hands. And I hadn't read much of the gospel, so I didn't know what was happening. I was like, am I going crazy? What is going on? There's blood on my hands, and there's his blood on my hands. And then he just moved his hands up, like it went up my arms like this, and he just stayed here for a second, just like stayed there. And then he put his hands on my face, and he went like this, and then onto my womb. And when he placed his hands on my womb, I was like, I'm forgiven. I knew it. I was like, I'm forgiven. That's the most powerful thing I've ever had in my life. And he washed his hands down my legs, and then he placed them on my feet. And he walked back to the end of the bed, and he just went like this. And there was just suddenly this book, huge book, massive book, like metallic 3D golden, not real, but real book. And he just opened it and he just placed it like this in front of me. And I'm crying and I'm like looking and I'm thinking, I'm like, what am I looking at? I don't understand. What is this? I don't know what this book is. And I'm looking like, is it the Bible? What is it? But there's no words. It's just a small word. And I'm like, I don't understand. And he's like, come closer, child. And so I sit up and I'm like trying to focus because he's in and out of focus. And I'm looking and my name is there. I'm like, Laura Ansell? I was like, that's me. And he just looked at me and I was like, that's me. Like, I don't understand. You know who I am? I said, but no one knows who I am, but you do. And he just looked at me and he said, you are mine. And I was like, but no, what's it's such a strange feeling, like you go your whole life and no one notices you and you go invisible to everyone and no one cares. And then it's like no one ever chooses you. Like I never get chosen. I always get left behind. And then here he is and he knows me and I was like, he's probably known me this whole time. And no one ever chooses me, but he's chosen me. I was like, oh, I'm good. I don't care now. No one else can choose me. I don't care. No one wants me. That's fine because Jesus does. I'm good. Someone knows who I am. And that was like my whole, like, I don't know, I changed. That's me. And I remember saying to him, like, because my hands felt like lead. Like I was flopped on my bed. Like my hands were so heavy. And I was like, I really want to ask a question, but I didn't feel worthy to speak to him. But I also felt so loved and worthy at the same time. It's such a strange feeling. And I was like, can I ask a question? He's like, yes. I said, why are my hands so heavy? He said, that is the burden of the cross. That's the weight of the cross. And I'm like, that blew my mind. I was like, okay. And then he walked back to the side of the bed and I just got to watch him. The blood just left. It disappeared. And he went from the crucified Jesus to the Messiah, the Son of God, like golden, he was glowing. And he just went like this. And I knew exactly what it meant. So I put my hands down and he did the same thing. And I saw this gold oil go onto my hands. And he did this, and the gold oil went all the way up my arm. It's like a sparkly, the goldest of gold, just all up my arms, on my heart again, on my face. He looked at me when he touched my face. I was like, I am seen. I'm alive. I felt like I was alive. I'd always felt dead, to be honest, which I know what it means now. I always felt dead. Like, what's the point in this? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm alive. He sees me. And then he drew a cross on my head, marked me with a cross on my forehead, went back down to my womb, gold oil through my womb, all down my legs, down to my feet. And then he just stood there for a moment and he just disappeared. And I was so confused. Like, half of me was like, did that really just happen? I was shaking. I felt like a feather. And I'm not gonna lie, it took a minute to process what happened. And as the months went on, that was when I really read the Gospels. And I read how he washed people's feet. I was like, that's a thing. I love it. He did it and then he backed it up with the Bible. That's powerful. I didn't read it first and then have the experience. No, he did this and then I read the Gospel and then I read about his ministry. Oh, he washes the feet of his disciples. Oh, God's children are marked on the forehead and sealed. People are anointed. People are washed clean with the blood of Christ. I was like, oh, this is a thing. He backed everything up with his word. I was marked, I was sealed, and I was baptized. And I gave up everything for him. It's like, what do you want from me? I'm yours, 100%. I was always so good at dedicating my life to a man. And now I can actually dedicate my life to a man that wanted me for a start. That felt nice. But also that I could just pour my love into it and it can be received and poured back. And I just gave up everything then. Then I deleted all my social medias. I didn't care. 500,000 followers, couldn't care less. Delete. I want to delete everything that was associated with my life.